Well, Happy New Year to everyone. Yeah, well, this report's for January the 2nd. It is New Year's, and hope everyone had a great celebration. Trade the MBI, we had a pretty solid year. 57% was where we ended up overall for our portfolio. It was a shame because we had this upside nailed, and just for the futures move on us. Otherwise, we really would have packed in that little extra bit and probably gotten to that 70%. So it's just that fine line between, gosh, and it was just a couple of points when we look at it. It was sad. It happens. We've avoided it in the past. This was the only time we ever got hit with it this year. So, not this year, last year. That's it. New year, we get to wipe the slate clean. So we had all of these bifractals setting up within this decline that was taking place. And even Friday, we ended up with the improvement on the extreme histogram, still below the red line there, dipped down a little bit to start with, and then just took off. And, we saw the early signs of it in our power momentum, so we were expecting that you would need to see, powerful move. And boy, it was powerful, all right. Significant, and that extreme fractal buy signal comes in. So we will look for any retrace to go ahead and take advantage of that. Nice movement to the bottom of our expanded ratio histogram. Something we needed to see given what we saw with this double top setup here and a reinstitution of the potential ratio size. So we were concerned about that, needed to see some buy setups within it, and it just came in time. So we were already long with that SSO. So nice, that worked out fine. Yeah, support resistance didn't work for any of that. Moved all the way back up above 13 EMA, which is the purple line, and back to the midline of Bollinger was below the Bollinger. So now I think people will be looking for it to get above it. We're going to be looking for a little bit of a red trend retrace to be able to add in to any particular setup. Nice little pop on the up-down power. So you caught shorts just unaware, not ready for it. And it wasn't a surprise to what we were looking for. You're probably even going to get MACD buyers back in a little bit. 2020, both lines above the magenta, and that is projection for a nice little bullish move back up to the upside. So all in all, fit kind of within the ranges that we were looking for. So we'd sold 60 puts for our 75, got down to 59 and a quarter. Those that just had the opportunity to buy the shares outright could have even done better in the 58 range, and it just took off. Got overbought right here in the middle of the day, but trend turned green to save that. Your next overbought setup retraced pretty much most of the way on that one and then turned around real quick. So that was positive. GLD got to the target finally. Took a few days. It happens. Not well, minus 17. That's not overbought. That's fine. Still working through some ugly shakeout. So is it USO. Nothing bad here with that setup. It's just getting kind of a little erratic. We'll look for a retrace that comes in on any kind of oversold status. Nothing as to yet. Explosion from CLF. Now we sold 37 calls through the week. There's potential chance for a retrace somewhere in between there. You get this huge momentum, and that's what happens with it. It'll just explode for huge move like that. It was pretty darn big, and that's fine. No issues with that. We'll be able to trade that very effectively. 78-minute chart. We had several buy setups within this move, and then it just pretty much rested on that Friday and kaboom. So it was just waiting to explode. X puts in a buy signal. We still have our couple hundred shares, so we'll hold on to those. New target now all the way up to, let's slide it over so you can see it. Orange dot 2490, so all the way back up to 25, which is originally where we had projected that we might get back up to. So nothing surprising with that. WLT, beautiful explosion. We've been loading up through this whole section right here where everyone thought it was a disaster. No real disaster at all. Very close to that upside target there was 3610. Was the high on the day, 36.15, so it actually did eclipse that from an intraday standpoint. And we're not ready to say goodbye to WLT just yet. From a future standpoint, there you have it too. Also, GAM, extreme fractal as well as a catfish long. Some of you might have saw in the live trade that I did where I had re-entered back into the overall future setup, and that was just because I was utilizing our intraday indicators as well as everything else. Nothing I could do to give a heads up other than show you what was happening intraday as it was going on from the time I got in there. To point it out, I had started picking that up on that huge sell-off that took place, and then in the morning became a pretty straightforward buy setup. Fortunately, we had that SSO. Would have been, one of those things where I always say, you can get back in there, but you were going to have to risk pretty decent size because the ATR has moved up quite a bit, and that's what happened to us. We were in at the 1409 and then also at 1416, and when we added in at that 1409, we had to get out if there wasn't going to be the positive movement that we were expecting to get sold out for those shares. So, and then once the decline happened, you had one of those equity draws where I just say that they just pull the bids and price just plummets. Well, I thought we were close to being out of the fray, and we were. We had a 1385 stop. It drops down to, and let's look at the low, 1382. So 2.25 points cost us that entire move. Is that sad? Yeah, it's sad, but that's going to happen in trading. And like I said, we hadn't experienced it before, so this was our first opportunity to get hit with that. It happens, but it's a new year, starting fresh. We'll go from there. You can take a look at the portfolio summary page. It's updated through the end of the year as to where we ended up with everything. And, we'll look for any little retrace to go ahead and buy a discount into this move. Pretty big range there. I mean, you're looking at, almost 50 points. 42, 43 points overall there. So, we're going to be looking for at least 10 plus point reduction to capture a discount within this buy setup. Now, if we look at, this happened to be Apple 78 minute, but there was the ES. We also had the NQ. I had posted an NQ chart the other day on StockTwits back here on the 28th, and it showed everybody, we were looking for this 2609 discount on the NASDAQ. And sure enough, came through, finished much lower than that overall, and even opened the day lower, but then this explosion and hit its target completely. So that was pretty nice, overall effective. And, these are the kind of trades we're just going to be doing. So you can look for more of what we did do, and probably, hopefully, a nice aggressive start to the year. So continue to follow me on StockTwits, and if you have any questions, please feel free to email or put a little tweet out. As always, though, trade well.